Yalta Conference was plans about the post-war world after World War II. Each nation and each of their leaders made plans for how to better their country. Stalin made plans to have free elections in the Soviet Union, but he broke that promise, thus starting the Cold War. What is the Cold War? The Cold War is the war against communism, but it wasn't actually fought with weapons or soldiers. That's why it's called cold, since there was never any violence that sprung out.
At the start of the Cold War, there was an organization formed known as NATO. NATO was the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It was formed as a reinforcement in case the Soviets retaliated.
The Marshall Plan was proposed by Senator of State George Marshall. It was a plan to send $12.5 billion to Western Europe, capitalist Europe, so communism won't spread. It was a political and economical success.
East Berlin and West Berlin were split into two. Stalin cut off trade for West Berlin in hopes of taking over, so the Berlin airlift brought in food and supplies to West Berlin.
And I feel you close like you wanted me.
In the 1950s, North Korea tried to invade South Korea, tried to spread communism to South Korea. U.S. tried to push North Korea back above the 38th parallel. The 38th parallel is the border between North and South Korea.
Brinkmanship was each country pushing each other to the brink of nuclear war. MAD was mutual assured destruction, where if one country goes down, the other one will too.
Cuban Missile Crisis was when Soviet missiles were transferred to Cuba, causing a panic in America. This started the Bay of Pigs incident when JFK sent operatives to Cuba to stop the missiles. It failed. Since the Bay of Pigs failed, JFK called it 1 minute to midnight because he was sure that destruction would happen very soon. He sent a U.S. Navy blockade to block Soviet missiles from going to Cuba. Cuba is only 90 miles away from the coast of Florida, so they are pretty close. Missiles fired from Cuba to the U.S. can cause destruction on both America and Cuba. Khrushchev, the president of the Soviet Union, promised the U.S. if they did not invade Cuba, they would not fire the missiles.
When Nixon came into office, he created a policy known as Diente, which was a policy promising to improve relationships with the Soviets.
The Cold War has officially ended when the Berlin Wall has fallen.
There must be some agreement among the countries of Europe as to the requirements of the situation and the part those countries themselves will take in order to give proper effect to whatever action might be undertaken by the government to draw up unilaterally a program designed to place Europe on its feet.